Hello. All right, so this is going to be my very first process layout video. A little nervous, a little excited. I haven't done these. I haven't done a lot of videos. My goal for 2023 is more YouTube videos. So, got to start somewhere. So here we go. Today, I have pulled these 3 pictures. They are not from a single event. They are randoms of my husband and his dog Riley, his girl. These are before we got River the puppy. So this was, oh gosh, they're at different times. This one was probably a spring one. This one was definitely a fall one. What's funny is I took this through a window and so you have the reflection of the fire pit, which is actually like over here. So I thought that was kind of funny. How it gave the reflection. But I love this picture. Riley is always right on Thomas's heel. And so I wanted to use these. And I thought that I would pull out, I'm going to use the Simple Stories vintage Lakeside papers. I really like the colors in these to go with the colors in the photos. I like the vintage feel of this. We'll talk a little bit more about it. The sticker book for this is on its way, so if the mailman knocks while I'm working on it, we'll add some stickers in this video. If not, they may be added before the still shots. Pulled my favorite current alphabet. This is a Heidi swap. I love the line and the fill. These I like to fussy cut and turn into my own alphabet titles. So we've got those. Pulled some ink colors. I am not going to use Tim Holtz for this layout, which is usually my go-to. I actually pulled kind of a palette from Stampin' Up. Well, I say I won't use any Tim Holtz. I will most likely use Archival Black. But I pulled some Stampin' Up inks to use with this. I really kind of liked the way that these colors worked with this collection. So we have Shaded Spruce. Pretty Peacock is actually a retired color from Stampin' Up, but I don't get rid of my retireds if I have the re-inker for it, because you can use them forever. I use Crumb Cake and Sierra Sand. Let me show you and this is, you know, kind of the cardstock that I pulled. So we have Pretty Peacock, Crumb Cake, Sierra Sand, Early Espresso. I didn't pull that ink pad because if I pull an ink pad, I will probably use, I think it's called Ground Espresso. I'm trying to think of the name of it. And I don't see the stamp pad right there. Yeah, it's Ground Espresso. So if I pull a dark brown, it'll be Ground Espresso, which will be an archival ink. This one is Shaded Spruce. I also pulled a little scrap of this Cajun Craze color, because I kind of like it with some of these. So we'll see. I can always go back and get more. And then I have an extra little scrap of Crumb Cake. So we've got the cardstocks. Some other things that I pulled. This is a Stampin' Up! Wood Grain. I don't know if these are still available or not. You know, at one point in time, I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am not anymore. I am just trying to use up all the lovelies that I have collected. So I pulled this one because I kind of like the wood grain. Pulled some black. This is sun faded. I have to be really careful in my space because I have a window, and if I don't pay attention, it will sun fade things. And then we'll get into Simple Stories. Okay. Slide my trimmer out of the way. I am in love with this collection. I love vintage. I love the look of grungy. I struggle to do it. Just like I love cutesy and I love the look of cutesy, and sometimes I struggle to do it. I don't really know what my maker style is. I kind of feel a little bit like a chameleon and just going with what I like. So I really love this sticker sheet. I think this is one of my favorite things from Simple Stories. I plan on doing in December a My Favorite Things video, and I'm going to go through what I love about the collections that I get, the whole collections. And this is one of the ones that I like to have all of the parts and pieces, and I do not for Lakeside. This one was gifted to me, and so I don't have all the parts and pieces, and that makes me sad. I did order the sticker book that goes with this because I wanted the alpha and some of the images. I don't remember what else in the sticker book. It's supposed to be here today. Of course, it's not here right this minute. If it gets here, we'll cut that in. But I really like that they have these layered elements. I like that they have the finished looking tag pieces that can be added. I am loving these tickets that are down here. I could literally do an entire sheet of just tickets and tabs. Yeah, the wordy bits are probably my favorite. I love this little "you are here." I don't know what those are called, but you know, where it points out where you are, that it's in wood. I think that's a riot. So there's a sticker sheet. I have the cardstock ephemera bits and pieces. I know there's a journaling one and a frame one. I don't think I've ordered either one of those. I really don't remember, y'all. I went a little crazy on Black Friday sales and my credit card's going to be hurting. But in all honesty, if my goal is to build my YouTube channel, which is what my goal is, I've got to have the stuff. So that's what I keep telling myself anyway. All right, so this is half of a 6x6 pad. Like I said, split this and part of it was a gift. But I really like the colors in these pictures. I mean, in these pictures. Oh my good grief. In these papers. So I'm not real sure. Oh, I love how that is layered. I don't know. My brain is already starting to work. Love that plaid. This collection to me is very reminiscent of Vicki Boutin's Fernwood collection. And all I have right now of Fernwood are the papers. I may have the stamps as well. I think the stamps I've gotten here. I've ordered some more things from Fernwood too because I really liked it. Ooh, that might be fun to fussy cut. Ooh, and maybe do that too as the title. Like that. Ooh, that's really pretty. All right. And so here we are. That's half of a pad. Right about now, I'm wishing I had the whole pad because there are some dupes that I would like to use one side, well, to use both sides of the papers. I don't know what's going on here with my paper pad now that I've flipped it and the pages have all come out. I don't know, weird. All right, so these are the open stock sheets that I have. Again, I don't have a lot, but I like the ones I have. I love this little mushroom page, but on the back of it is all the cut aparts, which is really probably what I'm going to end up using. There's that little duck again. That was that paper that I liked so much. I love this right here, Cabin Lake Docks. We have a small homestead, plot, cabin, building. I don't even know what to call it. It is a house. It has running water and electricity in the southern part of our state, which is our hunting and fishing cabin. We call it a cabin. It really is a house. It really is a house. So we've got the dark on one side and the light on the other. I believe these are all pretty much solids. Yep. Ooh, I love that. All right, so let's talk about, real quick, this picture and what I'm thinking. Let me grab a note card and a pencil, and we'll do some sketching together. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see a pencil. Let me grab a Sharpie. Oh, I wish I had a pink Sharpie in here. I don't. We'll be using black. Actually, you know what? I could probably use that. It's a midliner, but it'll work. Alrighty. So I know I want to do a 1-page 12 by 12. All right. And I feel like this picture I want to cut down, but these I want to leave full. And then that would give me an area where I could add one of these journaling bits. Let me grab this. I have got to find some WD-40 for this chair. I really like kind of these square ones. I don't know, maybe that one. So I'm wondering if we took on our sketch and we did a large photo here, 4x6. And then we put this one right next to it. And then we cut this little guy down, but I'm not sure what size. All right, y'all. So when I bought these, my husband was like, you are so crazy. They're clear squares. You could like measure that. And I was like, yeah, but watch. So if you don't have these are by Simple Stories. I'm not even sure what they're called, but you know, like there's my 4x6. So if I wanted to say, take a piece of a paper, and I don't have a good example sitting here, and I wanted to create a 4x6, but I had, where's one of these from inside? Say I wanted to get some of this and the word adventure, but nothing else. I can lay this on there and it'll tell me what it would look like. Make sense? Okay. So I do kind of like these. It was really funny because my husband was so like, seriously, it's clear plastic. But I do like them. All right, so I'm wondering what a 3x3 would look like. And I'm not sure I like that because of how she's laying. This is a 3x4. I do like that, but it gives me a whole lot of extra space up there. So I'm wondering about like a 2.5. Because I think 2 inches is going to be too small. Yeah, see, 2 inches would be too small. And I really want all of her. And I want it to be a substantial size picture. So I'm thinking if I cut here, maybe go 2.5. So come in a little bit. So this is why I like these, because I don't have to cut the picture. I'm not ending up having the, oh shoot, I shouldn't have cut that size going on. I'm able to check it out. Especially in my planning phase. I really like that. So this is a tool that, it also comes in circles. So, and I apologize for my chair. I got to get some WD-40. I just don't know where it is. So I like, the circles are what sold me, and then I just decided to grab the squares because I thought if I have one, I might as well have the other. I use these all the time. And I do trace these to cut out the bigger circles so that I don't have to go get out my die cuts. All right, so I'm thinking if we do this at 2.5 by 4, it's going to take us all the way over there. But it's going to give us a title area, and then maybe do some bits over here. Maybe cut in something journaling. Bits here. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's the direction we're going to go. And I lost my lid. There it is. Way under the table. All right. Maybe I can remember to edit that out. We'll see. Okay, so here's the $50 million question. This photo, I don't feel like I can crop at all. Like make it any narrower, because this is going to give me 12 inches. And I really want to be able to match these two photos. I guess I could trim a little bit here. I could trim maybe a little bit there. And definitely some of this fire, although I want to still be able to see the fire because that's why they're outside. And then we'll trim this little picture down too. Alrighty, here we go. Trimmer. All right, unlock it. I don't know if you guys have this Fiskars trimmer. I think I've owned every trimmer out there at some point in time. This one I really like, but it locks, and that's kind of why I like it. But I always forget to unlock it when I put it on my desk. So here's what I want to do. I want to start on this end. I feel like I'm seeing a string or something. I don't know. Start on this end. I want to put the deck board just below my cut. Line it up with the line of my blade. Slice-a-rooski. And now we're going to go 2.5. Take a look. Maybe 2 3/4. We'll start there. Can always take more off. Can't add it back. We'll leave that for a second. All right, now let's do a little trimo on this. Not much. We'll do a little trimmer-rooski on this one. There, maybe take just a hair off this side too. All right. There's that. Trying to decide if I want to take just a little bit off that, but I'm not sure. All right, now we're going to lock the trimmer back and set it aside. Get rid of all the scraps. All righty, background paper. Here comes the next part of this decision-making process. I really liked this piece. And then I'm wondering, I kind of think maybe, there's my little book, do some paper tearing. So I'm thinking this for the background, because they're out on the deck. What if we paper tear some of this across to kind of give it a, let's do that. So I'm tearing towards me because I want the white core of this to stick out. I made a little more of a peak than I wanted it to. If I'd torn the other way, then it would have had the white core on the other side. All right, so there's that look. Question is, do I want to tear across the bottom? Like that. That's a big enough piece to hang on to. Let's drop this in. All right, I do like this. Now, what I think I want to do, I think I want to trim this picture a little bit on either side because I don't feel like I have enough space. Not sure if that makes sense. There we go. Okay, this is what I meant by space. See how I've got room now? If I were to mat these out together, I've got room around them to do some matting. Okay. Grab some of these little papers. I know I want, let's see, might as well pull them all out of the pad. I really feel like I want this one for this. Like, I really like that. I may pull some of that peacock. All right. Find my peacock cardstock. All righty, so here's what I'm thinking. I want to mat this on here. So I need to cut this picture down. Then I think mat that on a piece of that, even if it's not fully matted. Have some of that sticking out. Okay, let's trim these. I'm going to take off 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch there. I'm going to have to cut this one on both sides. Take some here. I took that off to 1/2 inch. These are going to be right at about 5 1/2. Maybe just a hair smaller. Let's see. Ooh. How did I manage to do that, friends? Not a problem. There we go. Not a problem. Okay, I really like that. do on the outside. Ah, see, look, and we could come in and tear the edge of this. I'm liking that a lot. And then we've got the Riley baby that we can stick over, like so. All right, let's tear this. Again, I'm tearing towards myself so I get that white edge. And it may be a giant duh for some of you, but I remember way, way back when I first started scrapbooking. And I mean, I'm talking like when the dinosaurs lived kind of thing. I also think I want to tear this edge, even though you're not going to see much of it. And no, it's not going to be white. I just think that just to go along with the feel of the page, it needs to be torn. It doesn't need to be torn much, so we're just going to take a little bit out. Anyway, like I was saying, way back in the day when I started scrapbooking, we're talking late 1990s, early 2000s. One of my chief complaints was that you would see something, but you never really or at that time, I didn't know how to do it. So I would get frustrated and I would be like, well, how do you do that? And I was on a very strict budget back then. Very strict. We're going to ink the edges of this paper with some vintage photo. I told you Tim Holtz would make an appearance. Just because this is my favorite ink edger. Walnut stain would also work, but not real sure where walnut stain is down there. So I would look at something, maybe an example that was hanging up in the scrapbook store, yes, back in the day that we had scrapbook stores. And I would be like, I wonder how they did that. But being on a very, very tight budget, I really didn't have the money to play. And I really didn't have the money or the budget to take classes. So I got on the internet, and that's when I found 2 peas in a bucket. And if you are an old scrapbooker, you remember 2 peas. I love 2 peas. I'm so sad. Like, I still miss it. I understand why they closed. I understand why they moved on. I get it. I get it. I get it. But boy, do I miss the community they built. And I don't know how it became so viral, because there were other places like Split Coast Stampers that have amazing communities too, but there was just always something about 2 peas that felt so incredibly magical. And to this day, I miss it. Some of my favorite people I met through 2 peas. So I say this because if there are any newbies out there watching and you're not sure how I did something or why I did something and I didn't explain it, please use the comment box below to ask. I don't want anyone to walk away from a video and be like, I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to do it. Oh, y'all, look. It's starting to come together. Okay, let's take off this barcode piece so we can start sticking down. While we're talking about those comments below, I would love to know some of the things you're working on right now. Like, are you working seasonally? Are you holiday? Are you trying to catch up on Halloween and fall before you move to holiday? Are you going to do a December daily? Y'all, I've never done a December daily. I have always, always loved Allie Edwards' December daily, but yeah, that kind of, I haven't done it. I don't know why it scares me the way it does, but I don't know. I think it's something about the dailiness of it, which is kind of the purpose, but I don't know. So tell me in the comments, what are you working on? Are you currently catching up? Are you always catching up? That seems to be my case. Yes, I'm using fairly current photos today, but y'all, I have a backlog of stuff from when the kids were little. And when I say the kids, I'm talking about my 23 and 21-year-old. Well, Jackson will be 21 in January, but we'll just go ahead and call him 21 because he's almost there. So they are grown and out of the house, and I still have, you know, like 5th birthday parties to do. So I'm always playing catch up. But for right now, I'm just working on what feels good. So we're going to take this Tonic Studios paper edger, terror, shredder. I don't know what this thing's called. I love this thing. I got the paper stuck in here. This is how I rough up the edges of my paper. And I don't know, like, if there's a right way or a wrong way to use this. Again, this was one of those things that I got tired of using the blade of my scissors, which I'll be honest with you, if I'm out somewhere and I'm working and I don't have it, I will just grab my pair of scissors and do the same thing. I do like this little tool because it doesn't mess with the blade of my scissors. And on some papers, it'll actually kind of cut down into the paper and give me some more roll. So let me talk about what I meant by scissors. So old school, before we had that tool, you would just come along with your scissors. Yeah, I'm kind of digging that out because I want it. Ooh, I kind of like that grunginess. Let's do a little something more up here. So you can use your scissors. I think it's a little easier with that tool to not like make big gouges. Let's do 2 over here. Look at all that paper. If this were a white core paper, you would see the white core. There we go. Now we're getting some gouges. So that's one of the things you run into with the scissors, is that you can really kind of make some deep gouges. And if that's not the aesthetic you were going for, then you're like, well, man, what do I do now? Alrighty. Let's put my man and his dog back on this page. Look at where we're going. Oh, I'm loving it. Loving it. Loving it, loving it. See, this is going to be perfect. This is kind of what I was going for. So let's pull the sketch back out. So we've got some area for bits up here. I need to figure out the journaling piece for here. My thought originally was this, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's tall enough. I do kind of like that card. I kind of like this one right here. I need to cover up embrace nature because we're not embracing nature. But that would be easy enough to do with the stickers. So let's cut this little guy out. I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and eyeball it, because more than likely I'm going to rough up the edges of this one too. You could cut these out all on your trimmer and then have them sitting, you know, like in a storage box or something. When I was saying that, I was looking at this ginormous one, which is more than 6 inches. So 6 inches would be about to here. So this is maybe 8 inches, because I feel like that's 3 inches. So maybe 8. All right, so we can get this little guy cut out. I really like that it has the same plaid at the bottom. What I'm not sure of is if he's going to show up enough on this dark. But we're going to figure it out. Alrighty, so do we tuck him under? Not sure I like him tucked. We could edge it. Oh, but then I lose that. We could tuck him under like that. Not sure. I keep thinking on that. Let's find some bits. Let's pull out these. One of the things that I'm loving is this has all this greenery in here. And so I'm really kind of hopeful that I will find some greenery in here that can really work with this page. So let's see. No, not doing trees. No on the bears and the moose. Maybe. Not sure I want butterflies. Not sure I want frogs. I do want greenery, like you. Oh, look, it's a little fly fisher jig. That's kind of cute. I don't know. They're not fishing, though. I do have pictures of them in the flat bottom fishing. I don't know about that one. I like the colors of that, but I'm just not sure about butterflies on the boys page. Well, I guess Riley's a girl. I just don't know. We'll see. Alrighty. More greenery. This is where I kind of wish I had the fernwood green. Okay, there's a smaller butterfly of that same color. It's kind of where I wish I had the fernwood ephemera, because I feel like it might have something in it that I would like as well. Alrighty. I do have the fernwood stamps. Hold on, let me grab those. Pretty sure I have fernwood stamps. Fernwood, yes I do. Alrighty. So, one thing I could do is take the greenery that's in here. I like that. I could take the greenery that's in here and stamp it. Kind of like that. What I'm not liking is this brown, because of the color brown of my wood, which is a little closer to this brown. So what if we were to take, I'll find it, it's in the stack. What if we were to take, oh, I don't know, let's see. What if we were to cut it and it go on that? So fussy cut around here and then mat it onto that. That I don't mind. We could ink the edges with vintage photo or walnut stain. Okay, I kind of like that. We're gonna commit. I'm going in. So I'm just gonna kind of fussy cut around this the best that I can. I don't know why it is when I fussy cut, it's like I'm so focused, I forget to speak. I also forget to breathe. So if I get into a coughing fit, that is because I am fussy cutting and I forgot to breathe. Sounds crazy, I know. But it's almost like I hold my breath while I'm doing it. It's crazy. I've always done it. Kind of like you have to hold your mouth a certain way. Alrighty, so, okay, yes, I do like that way better. I do have a little tiny edge of the brown, but I don't even mind that. So, trying to think, I think what I'm going to do is put liquid adhesive on here, because I really want this to have a good stick. So I like this Barely Art Glue because of the tip, and I do keep a pen in there. It is not the pen that came with it. I was at a crafting weekend and I lost mine, but my good friend Susan, her craft of choice is sewing. So she happened to have that pen and I was like, Susan, help! I have lost my pen. And she grabbed that and stuck it in there. And so I really kind of like it now because it has my friend Susan's pen in the top. I need to refill my Berry Art Glue, but for the love of Pete, this lid is so tight, it's been a struggle to get it off. All right, so what am I doing? Let's talk about this. This is a brayer. This is the Tim Holtz little one. I have about 4 around here somewhere that I use for mixed media. I turned this over because this is a little bit stained. I don't think it's going to come off, but if it were to come off on the back of my paper, it wouldn't bother me. This is just to help spread out that glue and give it some better adhesion. Alrighty, now we're going to, I have stuff everywhere, y'all. Everywhere. Like, I craft myself into a 2-inch hole. I don't know if anybody else does, but y'all, it's a thing. Okay, I can't do that because that is too high for the trimmer. Alrighty. So, fun fact about this trimmer from Fiskars. This is, I don't know, it's the more expensive one. Can you see right here? There's a line. That's a piece of metal. That's like actually in the, you hear it? You can actually see it really well right there. It's actually a piece of metal. That's where you cut. So when I go to line up, I'm looking at that piece of metal so that I know right where to line up my cut. Look at that. Perfection. See? It does move, so, you know, you kind of, actually, I think I'm going to leave that just that long. It does move a little bit, the metal piece, not the blade. The metal piece does move. So that kind of freaked me out when I first started using this one. I was like, what? What are you doing? Where are you going? But it was the metal, not the blade, because my biggest pet peeve is a trimmer that does not trim straight. Oh, they make me crazy. And, you know, being as that I've owned everyone out there, just about every one of them, except, well, even my guillotines will trim a little unevenly. All right, so I think it's just the way of the world. All right, I want to edge this. Don't think I want to use vintage photo. I really think I want to use walnut stain. Question is, do I have a thingy thing for walnut stain? And by thingy thing, old paper. That's a green one. I don't know what that one is for. All right, let me grab one. And I'm back. So we've got walnut stain. We have a thingy thing, sponge dauber, thingy thing. Works for me. Now we're going to ink it up because this one's not been used. I'm going to try to get, oh, look at that. Beautimous. Here we go. I may even go back over the edge of that with walnut stain now that I have it out. Because this actually looks like a better match. Although it would be cool to have those two together because it would pick up this rusty color. So, don't know if you follow Tim Holtz, but this season of making is my favorite. Kind of the August into September, into the holiday season. This is when he releases his ideology. It's when he releases, it just all of the things. All of the things. Yeah, whoa, that's stuck down so we can't. Okay. Never mind on that. Moving on. So, lots and lots of lives. I love listening to lives while I'm working. So, that has been huge. And now that they have ended for the season, I'm like, who do I listen to while I work? So, if you are out there and you know of someone who has amazing content and you would like to give them a shout out and a, hey, Karen, why don't you go watch them too? I would love to know who they are. I'd love to know who everybody who's watching me is watching. We all can learn from each other. It's fantastic. Okay, y'all, I'm loving how this is coming together. It's fantastic that way. That's one of the things that I love about the scrapbooking community is that we really can learn from each other. And boo hiss to the people that are like, I don't want to share. Yeah, well. All right, I'm thinking about stamping this onto, I need something light enough that I can still write on it. Maybe this. This is called Soft Suede. It is another Stampin' Up color. Oh my gosh, I can't get the stamp off. Stampin' Up color, Soft Suede. It's a pretty brown. Not as light as crumb cake. Not as dark as espresso. La 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 la. Grab a block. Ooh. stick this down. I think I got it straight. I am going to grab some ground espresso archival ink. So this is my favorite permanent ink. Oh, this is going to be nice. Take this. We're going to stamp it down here on the bottom. Actually, I need to stamp. All right, so one of the things, another little nugget here. If you're using clear stamps, it doesn't have any foam for you to press into. So if you put foam, this is just, it's just foam. So like if I were poking something, I could poke it into that. But because clear stamps don't have any foam, this is a nice way to get that cushion that you need to get a beautiful image. So we're going to take this, we're going to stamp it right here in the corner. Life documented. You don't have to perform CPR. You don't have to bang it. Ooh, am I giving you the shaky shakes? I hope not. Am I even in camera? Here I am. I'm in the corner. So I just let it down there, let it sit for a minute, pick it up. Look at how nice that is. I actually think I'm going to stamp a couple of these because I'm thinking that they might be nice tucked. And if I'm going to cut them out, I might as well cut out a couple. Again, I'm not performing CPR. No, no CPR. Just press down, lift up. Do one more. Also, that way, if I write something that's not very clear or I misspell something, boom. Done. All right, I'm also looking at the stamp set. I really like these little splotchies. They may find their way onto the background. I also kind of like that deer, but this page is nothing about a deer. All right, blot that off. My stamp pad up. Let's see. Let's put it back on the sheet. It's gotta go underneath. There we go. I do leave the backs on my stamp sets. It just protects the image. You can get them, you can get rid of them if you want to. I just kind of like them there. All right. I also like these flowers. Oh, woe is me. All righty. I think what we're going to do is use the good old Fiskars trimmer here instead of scissors. We'll see. It may not work. It may make me a little crazy. There we go. Wham bam. Let's split them. This is the part that may make me crazy. And if it does, I will just pull my scissors out. Partly because I'm not sure how straight I stamp these. There we go. Alrighty. Not bad. Really liking where we're going with this. Okay, I'm going to take 30 seconds and clean up because I've got all this junk over here. Trimmer back. Trash. All right. Y'all. Okay, that feels a little far. We'll trim. I think it's because these aren't perfectly straight lines. They're more like hand-drawn lines. Alrighty, that's the one I'm going to use for here. And I want to do this. And where did the sticker sheet go? My bits. I love this little green heart. I also kind of love this. I wonder if I should put that there instead and then slide a coupon, a ticket underneath it. So if we stuck this here, remember we're covering that up with this. So if I put this about here, this about here, even though you can't read that word. Ooh, I'm liking that. Or where's this little green heart? Liking you. What if you went? No, 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 not the green one. Let's do the blue one. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Here's a blue heart. What if we put you, like we stick you here, and we put you here. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Stick this on my no stick mat. Grab my glue. Press that down. Pick my heart back up off of the no stick part of my glass mat. Add my little heart in the corner. Loving that. Okay. Ooh, I like the word together. Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on. ADD, get back under control. Okay, so we've got all the bits and pieces. I'm going to show you guys, this is one of my favorite tricks, especially when I'm going to be adding bits. So in our diagram here, which has probably been just off camera, but it's right here. I have bits up here in this corner and bits down here in this corner. And a title right here. I don't know how much needs to be tucked. And I'm not really sure if I want it tucked under the mat or if I want it tucked under the photo. So I'm about to stick the photos down. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to make an X. So I'm going to back off the corner about a finger's width and draw an X across the middle. So I've got my adhesive on there, but there's no adhesive here, none there, none there, none there. That allows me to tuck if I need to without having to pull the whole thing up. I think that's about where this is going to go. Do the same thing on this one. Back off the corner about an inch. Yeah. There we go. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing here. Ish. I'm going to do an X. I'm going to do a line here, and then I'm going to do a line here. So I'm going to make an L and an X. I want to leave this side and this part right here where I can tuck. So an X. Ooh, you can actually see the X a little better on this one. An X. Then we're going to come across the bottom. I'm also going to come across this bottom. And then it's this side. And I'm not going all the way to the top because remember, if I need to tuck anything, that's going to give me that corner to tuck with as well. Alrighty, so we're going to take this, slide that out of the way. Don't want it all the way up against the edge. And I'm crooked. Okay. Now I'm just going to press in the middle to hold it. Next thing I'm going to slide in is this. And I really want, I think I want it to do like that. And then we'll put, oh, I don't want to lose that though. Maybe if I do like that, put her right up at the top. Doing a little paper surgery with my fingernail. I'm probably giving you the shaky shakes at the same time. Because I kind of like the idea of that being up tighter there. Then her in there. If I leave that down, then I can do some tucky tucks right there. Even though I called for bits on this side, I may switch it to over here. All right, so let's get this stuck in. I'm gonna do the same thing. X, because remember, if I want to tuck, it's gonna be in that little area. This side's probably not gonna tuck. I know the top's not gonna tuck, so I wanna give extra support there. Lots of people do this their own way, and I am totally cool with however anybody wants to do it. This just happens to be how I do it. Alrighty, and then we'll tuck this thing right in here. You still get that cute little dip. I'm gonna take it up just a hair more. Yeah, more like that. Drop her in. Perfection. Alrighty. X. We're gonna go down this side. I'm gonna do 2 lines there because I'm on 2 different layers. Do the same thing down here. I did leave this upper corner without adhesive because if your adhesive comes over onto this side because you got too close. There we go. You can just scrape it off. And drop her in there like that. And because I didn't stick this corner down completely because of the X, I've got the ability to tuck. Alrighty, here we go. Oh, my friends, I am loving this. Now, I've got some room to write. I've got a title area, which I kind of want to do here. I really want to start tucking some of this greenery in. Now, these leaves, this style leaf, I don't know the difference. I'm not an outdoorsy person. I'm really not. It's more like what we have at our house than these. All right, I'm still not sure. I don't want to use these little blue butterflies. I just like them because they're blue and it would give me a pop of blue and I don't know. Anyway, this is more the style of the leaf that's at our house. But I really kind of like how these look. I'm kind of thinking this one maybe here with a tuckity tuck. I don't know if I want it to go under the picture. Nope, I want it to go here. I may even trim it to get a little closer. What if we tuckity tuck this one down here? Coming out like that because we've got that one there. A little tuckity there. Oh, I wish I had some more. Because I'm not sure that I like these. That one there. Maybe slide this one in more up like that. Slide this one down like that. This is just the playing part. If I use that one, it's gonna have to be short because I feel like that's too long, but I don't want to trim it until I'm sure I want to use it. Then I do know I want to come in and use some of this. All right, let's go ahead and trim this because he's way too big. He sticks up too far is his problem. Slide him in because I do kind of like that. So let's glue some bits down. Fairy art glue. Slide that one in like that. You know what I think I'm gonna do? Because I really feel like that's flat. Why don't we grab some pop 'em uppers and let's pop it up. Give it some dimension. Right? There's that one. Okay, I like that better. And then let's do the same thing over here. Give just the ends some dimension. There, yep, see how I like that? So we'll take this, pull it out. Looky there. Likey much better. Now, ooh, I just sent a leaf flying. Still not sure about these little butterflies. Although we could add one there, add one there. I just don't know. It's almost more than I can do. All right, let's take a look at some of the, I like this. This is right here. Kind of thinking tuck that in, like right about there. And then what if behind that we did a blue? What if we take this blue and we tuck it in like that? Do that and that. I have my little heart down here. I have my little tucky bits up there. I also really love this simple life. I wonder what it would do. Like right there. Because I feel like if it went all the way in, we lifted that up and stuck it under. Pokey tool to lift up the sticker. See if I can get it up. I really did kind of whack it down. Sticker surgery. What if it went in kind of like that? Okay, I like that. I do kind of wish This Is Our Favorite Place was bigger because it would be a nice title. Let's take a look. It might work. I think we're going to hang on for the sticker book and see what's in there, because they're definitely letter stickers. And what I may do is maybe stamp the word favorite and cut it out. Alrighty, so give me a minute to get it together. Okay, I'm having an idea. Just as I said, give me a minute to get it together. What if we did that there with this over it? Kind of like that. That kind of looks like it's just floating there. So let's, there we go. What if we did it like that? I don't know. I'm not loving that either. Uh-oh, don't stick to my picture. Whew. Scared my stickers were forever stuck together. That's a little bit scary. Alrighty, so we're going to give the mailman a minute to get here. And then we'll finish this layout up. But so far, I'm really liking where it is. I do think I'm not going to use the butterflies. I think my first instinct of no butterflies was the best instinct. Love this little package of die cuts. These have been fun. I'm really loving the manliness of this collection. Alrighty. Yeah. Really do love this. Alrighty, so give me a minute. I'm going to get myself together, think about a title, and I'll be back. And we are back. And I have a new camera angle because I realized that it was cutting off the top and the bottom. This whole scrapbooking thing on video is new, and thank you guys for hanging with me. So, sticker book got here. Love it. Fantastic. I added in this little compass to match the one down here. Remember, this was the die cut piece. Added in this Simple Life. No, these were off the big sticker sheet. My bad. So those you saw. This little wood piece is in a page in here that is all wood pieces. There it is. Love them. So I added that there just kind of to give a little bit of balance. Up here, I added in the little clock, the compass. We had the ticket from the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. Remember, we pulled those from here. And then I added time together and around the fire because they are sitting outside chilling in our backyard around the fire. So the other thing I added was a few of these little dots, some of the light blue ones, just to give it a little bit of oomph. And I decided on a title, and I think this one's going to be Just a Man and His Dog. And so I went ahead and saved you from watching me fussy cut. And so I think what I want to do is use these little bitty letters back here, these, the little squares, and do Just a Man and His Dog. Like that, I think. Now, here's the $10 million questions. Do I add some more bits and leaves or not? I kind of don't think so. I really feel like maybe if I add leaves here, it's going to lose the word dog. So, alrighty, there we go. All right, here it is. Just Thomas and Riley hanging out in the backyard. Just a man and his dog. So, still shots coming up in just a second. There it is.